Raiders. Yes. Back to back, baby. Victory Monday. Haha. So much easier to do these when we win. Still have a lot to say. Beginning, middle, and end. Different week, same question. Who should start at quarterback? Yes, sir. It almost seems like that conversation's never going to end. I got to address some things and some subscribers. I got to make my statement and make myself clear. Yeah. Happy Monday. Victory Monday. Pump, baby. Pump. Yes, sir. All right. You guys about ready? All right, we got 2 watching, only 1 like. Let's go. Come on. I need just an audience of 1. I'm ready to go. I'm fired up. Everybody's watching Monday Night Football. I get it. I'm not. I got too much to say. I got too much going on, too much to do. So let's go ahead and get the show kicked off. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Night of the Shield. I'm Jason Smith, a.k.a. the Oakland Knight, and you're watching the Las Vegas Raiders News Review, brought to you by Independently Blind Studios, where we educate, advocate, motivate, and inspire those who are going through loss, primarily sight loss, help them find their way through life, find their independence, help them reach their goals and their dreams, and let them know they can come true. If you're going through any other type of loss in your life, go check out Independently Blind. We're there to help motivate and educate you as well. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and get this thing started because I got a lot to say. D the Sum, longtime follower, good friend. What's up, brother? Welcome. Nice intro. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. D the Sum, talk that ish. I'm about to keep it real 100, man. All right, now, for those who've been watching me for a long time, I've been here for a hot minute. Look, I don't come on here thinking I have all the answers. I know that there's reputations out there of people who do. And if I ever come off as if I have all the answers, then I must be feeling myself that night or something. Because I'm just here just like y'all, man. I just want to talk Raiders, right? We will talk everything Raiders. We'll make sure that we try to cover and speculate and do. I don't mind how we do it, what we do, but we're not always going to be on the same page. But you would be surprised, okay? Just because I may not say it the same way that you do, or maybe we don't, maybe we're not on the same page, right? But sometimes the same thing is said just in a different way. And that doesn't mean that I don't agree or I'm a homer or anything like that. Trust me, man, there's a couple, and I'm not going to throw out any names out there. I will address one name just because I want them to know where I stand, because they're respectful, I'm respectful. J.O. will tell you. J.O. either he'll be here live or he'll watch us later and he'll comment, right? And he always knows whether he agrees with me or disagrees with me. Man, I respect the hell out of everyone that shows up to the show, leaves a comment, all of that. Jason Raider, what's up? What's up, Jason? What's up, brother? I'm Jason Smith myself. Ditto. It's a common name, dude. It's a common name. I went to school one time with the Jason Smith, who had a brother named Jimmy Smith as well. And I have an older brother named Jimmy Smith. And yeah, it was pretty funny. Pretty funny. That was a long time ago. Long time ago. Ray Gonzalez in the house. Salute Nation. Salute to you, Ray. Welcome. All right, so let's go ahead and address a few things before we get all heavy into this. So back to what I was saying just about, comments and opinions, and we're here to talk it out, right? We're just here to talk it out, and you don't have to agree or disagree or whatever. We're just, Picture us at a sports bar having a beer, just talking, right? We're just talking football. That's all we're doing here. So I want to give a big shout out because I want this to be all about respect to my buddy G Warb. He always up in here, man. I love that guy. I love his takes. He has a very strong opinion about the quarterback position in general, and he also has a strong position on who should be our quarterback and what we should do in this upcoming draft. And I want to let G Warb know that we're on the same page, dude. We're on the same page. Like, look, I even went out of my way and watched tape on Caleb Williams and Drake May just to kind of get a feel for those two quarterbacks in particular. Now, I guess the persona's out there, right, that I'm all about Aiden O'Connell, and I think Aiden O'Connell's the answer, which it's actually the opposite, right? I believe that any quarterback can be the next quarterback. We don't know. I promise you this. Jimmy is not the answer moving forward, in my opinion, and neither is Brian Hoyer, and we'll talk more about Brian Hoyer, obviously, here in a second. And Aiden O'Connell is just a mystery to me. He has some talent. He's been sitting there learning the system now for going on close to half the year. We're getting closer and closer to that mid-season mark. And I'm just saying, so we can make right decisions moving forward, you got to test the young kid. Plain and simple. We want to see what we got. It doesn't matter that just because he does good even doesn't mean we don't go and try to get one of those quarterbacks that you talk about every week. I would love to have either one of those quarterbacks. I just want to see the kid. I talk highly of the kid because he has really great fundamentals. Very rare to see someone that young entering the league with those types of fundamentals. I'm curious. Does Aiden O'Connell blow me away? No. Could he blow me away? Maybe. That's all I'm saying. So if it ever sounds like, look, you act like Aiden O'Connell's going to be the savior this year, yeah. After looking at the other two, I got no choice, man. That's just where I'm at. Like, he to me gives us the best opportunity now. Because whether it's Caleb Williams, Drake May, even if we're fortunate enough to have an opportunity and we go after those two guys, that's not even going to be until next year. I'm worried about this year, bro. And at this point, I want to win as many games as possible, try to do what we have to do, and then afterwards, then, we address it moving forward. And if we have to give up capital, we're giving up capital anyway. We're not going to be as bad as some of these other teams are playing. But boy, Kenny's in the house. We got feedback noise. Do you really? All right, let me check that out. You know what? I see it. How did I fix that last time? I know how. Hold on. Bear with me. Sorry about the feedback. Somehow it got switched up. It should be fine now. Kenny, or anybody give me word. That should have fixed it. I'll double check on my end too because it shows me a meter down here. I'm talking. No more meter. I just got the Roadcaster. We should be good. We should be good. Sorry about that, y'all. Thanks, Kenny, for pointing that out. We should have that fixed now. Raider Dangerfield, salute night, salute. Let's see. I can't hear you, bro. Hopefully I fixed that. It's worse. Okay. One says it's worse. Then it says it's, yep, all good. Okay. Hopefully it's better now. Okay. Man, sometimes it wants to switch. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and explain all the details to it. I got it. Okay. It's good. Okay. So just to reiterate what I said, because I didn't know my audio was all messed up, I don't think Aiden O'Connell is the cure-all. I don't think Aiden O'Connell is the future. The whole point is to see if this kid has the capability of being the future. He is on this roster. We drafted him. We must know. We must figure it out. That's all I'm saying. So, G Warb, I hope you know it's all out of respect, bro. Like, at the end of the day, thanks, Jason. Thanks, D the Sum. Thanks, Ray. Thanks, everybody. We're good. We're rocking. We got this now. So, my whole point is, like, when you look at the roster today, dang, yeah, I want Aiden O'Connell to play. And we're going to get more into depth in that here as the show goes on. But I just want to address just what I say when I bring up the kid, when I bring up Aiden O'Connell, it's because I feel he, in my opinion, gives us the best chance to win and lose. If that makes any sense, right? Either he's going to show us that he could do it, and then maybe we found gold. We struck lightning in a bottle, like all those weird terms, like either we got it or we don't. And if we don't got it, then it puts us in a position either way to get what you keep saying every week in and week out about getting Caleb Williams. That's who you want, right? You know? I mean, we're playing the other guys and we're back-to-back wins, but I mean, the talent we're playing is different. I want to get into that game here real quick too, but just know, so Aiden O'Connell is going to be brought up again in this one, and I'm going to be talking a little highly of Mr. Aiden O'Connell and why I think it'd be a good fit for him to start next week. But I just wanted to put it out there again that I don't believe that Aiden O'Connell is Tom Brady, and I don't believe that he's going to take us to the promised land and all that. I don't know. And the whole point is I don't know. We need to find out. That's the conversation. Anyways, what a great game yesterday. I was so pumped up. Now, did it go the way I think it should have? Nope. Are we still having some of the same struggles? Yep. But is it enough to win? 100%, obviously. We scored over 20 points thanks to Max Crosby. Without Max Crosby's sack at the end for the safety, we still scored 19. We had 6 trips, 6 into the red zone, 1 touchdown. So we'll talk about that too, but I want to focus on the fact that we won. I want to focus on the fact that we're heading in the right direction, man, especially defensively, right? And look, beat up New England Patriot team, struggling New England Patriot team, it don't matter. That's a well-coached football team. They came in schematically ready. They did some things against the run, but we didn't give up the big play. Could have. It got close, right? But our defense does just enough. We held Mac Jones to under 200 yards passing. I think we're leading the league right now in pass defense. Like, plenty to be excited over, plenty to be pumped up about. Like, this is Raider football and growing. That defense is getting better. It's not getting worse. And that is something to look at. Now, offensively, believe it or not, saw some improvements. I saw some improvements in scheming. I saw some improvement in execution. And I'm going to cover something else that someone else said. Not a subscriber of this channel, at least I don't think so. And by all means, if Hondo is subscribed to this channel, I'd be shocked. But Hondo always has interesting takes and interesting perspectives of the football team because he's linked in, right? He's inside. He talks to people. He talks to other people around the leagues and gets different perspectives. Just have respect for the dude. Doesn't mean I have to agree with everything he says. So in his report, he said that, and he got this from other teams as well, that the reason that we cannot run the football is because they're loading the box and we can't stretch the field. Now, there's obviously truth to that. If people are going to load the box up and you're not showing the ability to get the ball down the field, it's going to be much, much harder. But last year, we were a run-heavy, run-first football team. And yes, we had DC. He could stretch the field. They always had to respect that ability. But they still loaded the box. Just saying. And we still ran the football. Just saying. So, again, Is it one of the things that we have to do to fix it? 100%. Is it the only reason why we're not running the football? I don't agree with that. I think there's more to it. In fact, there's a play where Zeus is running. O'Groton blows his coverage again, grabs Zeus, tries to push him through the hole. That has nothing to do with 8 being in the box. Sorry. That's just bad offensive line play, in my opinion. Straight up. No other way to say it, sugarcoat it, put a dot on it, nothing. Cross it with the T, all that. None of it makes sense to me. So there's a lot more that has to happen now. Jimmy G getting hurt, we expect that to happen. It's not a season-ending injury or anything like that. It opens up the door for a week or two of possibilities, and we got to see how we're going to address that. We're also going to be getting into Devante. I know people will bring in that as soon as I start getting into the comments. I'm sure that'll be a hot topic, and you guys will get my take on Devante when that situation comes up. But real quick, I'm going to put it out there, right? Because we're already talking about it, quarterback-wise. Brian Hoyer did what Brian Hoyer was brought to this team to do, and I have a ton of respect now for that dude. And I'll tell you why. He is a backup quarterback. He is not the quarterback. If he was the guy, he would have started over Jimmy G. He came in here. He threw that 48-yard pass to Tucker. Beautiful, by the way. It's exactly what we needed. It opened things up, but we still couldn't punch it in. Again, because the box, when you're in closer to the goal line, you're always going to have a loaded box, right? So Jacobs couldn't punch it in. We were kicking field goals. And that was the reason why it was so close. If we could have punched at least 2 of those in for a touchdown, we really would have controlled the whole narrative of this football game. Okay? But Brian Hoyer has proven to be a serviceable backup depending on when your quarterback goes down. Jimmy went down with the lead. Hoyer came in, maintained that lead, and our defense won the game. Most teams that face that situation lose. So Brian showed to be more than serviceable. Do I want Brian Hoyer being the starting quarterback just because we saw him make some good decisions and some good throws? No, because I believe that Aiden O'Connell can make those throws, but even better, with more velocity, with more consistency. He has the stronger arm. He doesn't need a perfect pocket to get the ball down that far. You saw Mac Jones getting collapsed on. He threw a freaking bomb and almost nailed it, which would have put the dagger in us, by the way. We would have lost the game if that pass if he would have caught that pass. I can't remember the receiver's name off the top of my head, but if he would have made that play, we would have it be in a different conversation right now, period. Right? Aiden O'Connell has that kind of arm. So as you're watching this back and you're hearing me say this again, I'm not saying Aiden O'Connell's Tom Brady. Aiden O'Connell's the answer. We're going to go to the Super Bowl. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying at this point in time, when you look at our running game, and I keep hearing it's because the box loaded, Aiden O'Connell is the closest thing we got right now to push that ball down the field, and it's also going to make Devante happy. And the reason I say it'll make Devante happy because the last time the kid started, Devante had a monster game. He trusted Devante, would throw the ball up to Devante. That's what we need. I mean, the answer's there. I'm going to go ahead and start jumping in the chat. I'll let you guys redirect where this show is going. But all in all, a great win. Great win. The only thing bad about yesterday, again, was the offensive line play and the lack thereof of pushing the ball down the field on a consistent basis. The tight ends were involved. I know Devante didn't get eat enough, and we'll get more into that as the show goes on. But all in all, as a whole, when you look at how that all played out, your second-string quarterback comes in with the lead, maintains it, defense shuts it down. Textbooked in that situation. Jason Rader, I honestly don't think AO4 is the future, bro. Again, me either. I don't know. I can't honestly say that he will or won't be, right? He looks like it be a career backup. But look, I think he would be an outstanding career backup. I think with a young kid with a young arm and his mechanics, then I'd play him right now. He gives us the best chance now. And we'll be able to tell a lot because we're getting ready to hit in. We got one more week. Let's say Jimmy's out 2 weeks, right? You play him against the struggling Bears. He's going to have way more opportunities with the Bears than he did with the Chargers. It'll be a nice warm-up if he has to go up against Detroit, which might be a tougher challenge. I know Detroit's looking a little weak here, but that team, you never know what you're going to get. If the Lions come in ready to play, it's going to be a challenge. But I'm just saying that this is what we need to find out. I don't think he's the answer either, and I want to put that out there and make it clear. But there's only one way to truly, truly find out and answer that question. We're not going to be able to figure it out talking to one another. The kid's got to play straight up. I think McDaniels should start Hoyer. Hey, give him a shot. Give him a shot at it. Aiden as backup. How do you think the team would react? Well, again, we could talk about that. I thank you for bringing that up, Ray, because that's the other side of the coin, right? Hoyer did come in. Hoyer did, like he even said, well, I was in a position where I felt, because the defense, he said, this is Hoyer's words actually, right? He said the way that the defense has been playing, it gave me confidence in just doing what I had to do. Basically, he played not to make mistakes, which is not always the best thing. But in for a backup, he said, I know my abilities. I didn't have to play above and beyond my ability. And the bottom line is obviously he could throw the ball deep, but he threw it one time deep. You know, when you get up there in age, and I'm just speaking for myself, right? There's a lot I can still do. Can I do it at the level or sustain it as long as I did when I was younger? No. And that would be my only concern. Now, because of what we saw, and I think I said this even last week, right? Hoyer going and being the backup. And I said, if Jimmy continues to be Jimmy, I think we should pull him and see what Hoyer's got. He knows the system. And I don't think that he let us down. I think we saw what Hoyer could be. I just think at his age, it's not sustainable. That's my personal opinion. I don't know that to be factual. We'd have to have Hoyer start to see. But I think there's a true reason why they started the kid against the Chargers, right? It was a little too early. I said it was too early maybe for the kid to play, but it was an opportunity, right? I'm more confident now that it may be a week to 2 weeks that Jimmy doesn't play. We haven't got all the specifics yet on what's going on there. But Aiden's definitely more, he's got a game under his belt. He didn't play great, but he didn't play horrible either. I would say he still played probably below average, but I liked his liveliness. I think he could sustain it longer than Hoyer. But if they want to run with Hoyer, I'm not bad. I don't think it's a bad decision. As long as you pull the trigger to change it sooner rather than later. Richard Lyons in the house. What's up, brother? Night. Salute, brother. Salute right back at you. Miguel Navarro. What's up, brother? I hope O'Connell can play a few games straight. And this would be an opportunity. And I think if he goes out there against Chicago and for whatever reason or how it's played, lights it up. I mean, you saw the ability of Tucker. You still got Carter. The tight ends were being used more. And it started when he was in there. Like, he was trying to spread the ball out to them as well. And Tucker keeps showing up, dude. We're not using him enough. I know he's not even 100%, the rumor is. And he's still getting deep. And when he's doing the end arounds, you can see the quickness and the speed, and he's making plays. And again, if he could light it up enough, why not? Why not ride him until the wheels fall off? Let Jimmy get a little healthier. You want to put him in later? Then go ahead. I just think Jimmy's a little beat up. I think he's more hurt than he's letting on to be. Edgar V. I'm not a Carr hater or lover. Me either. I probably like the man. If you're talking football, it all depends on how you direct that, right? But we would have definitely been at least 5-1 without a doubt with this defense. Yes and no, Edgar. Like, for me, I see where you're going with that, and we're talking about his ability to throw the ball down the field. But what we're seeing is we're not holding up necessarily great in pass rush. And if you watch the Saints game, the minute he got hit in the stomach, his game went down. That's always been Carr's knock. It's not his deep ball. It's not his ability to throw the football. The guy, you saw him in the Pro Bowl. He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks, in my opinion, that I've seen come out in a long time. He just can't do it under pressure. That's not me talking bad on the dude. That's just me stating a fact, man. Watch it. I mean, even in that Pro Bowl game, right? He was dropping dimes And then all of a sudden, someone's running at him. He's running back to the side to try to throw, and he throws a pick. That's DC. That's not a knock. Now, as far as this year goes, would it be different with the run game? Possibly. And that's my argument for AO4, right? Because Carr would open it up. Carr would take a deep shot to Devante. Carr would throw it around to the receivers, right? And he didn't have a guy like Tucker taking the top off like Tucker shown that he could do already. So it would have been interesting. The other issue that I have with that statement only is that when you can't get along with the head coach and you don't believe in his system and you don't want to run his system, it's hard to get everything you need out of it. But yes, from a talent standpoint, arm talent, the ability to get the ball down the field, if that's what we're running with, and that's the excuse that we're going to take and say this is the reason why, AO4 is the one who fixed it. Now, Hoyer showed that he can do it, but can he do it 4 quarters? Can he sustain that tight? Because it's going to have to be done multiple times to keep them honest. Edgar, DC Carr is known to give us more than 20 points. Fact. And I can't argue that one at all. At all. Again, I can't play the unknown. He's not here. We saw him last year. We saw him score those points, and then we see it shut down. And part of that is coaching. That's not all on DC. And I'll never be the guy that'll say it was all DC. It was both DC and McDaniels. They just didn't get along. And I think that Carr made the best decision for himself, and I wish him the best. But to look in the past now, just to look at the future where we're at, we just need someone to throw it deep. And that could be Hoyer too. That Raiders fan. I had the pleasure of meeting former Raider Eric Allen. Hey, he was a real one. It was awesome. Go Raiders. I'm so glad that you had a great time and you got to see Big EA. Hey, that guy handles it, man. I miss those glory days. I miss those glory days. Him, Awesome Wild, Woodson. That was sweet, bro. Raiders combo. Hey, what's up, Knight? What's up, combo? It was good to see Mayer get involved. He just didn't get involved, dude. Like he showed his true abilities, right? Like he showed what he's got and what he could bring to the table. And they need to continue to test the waters with that kid. I saw an interview with him today where he was talking about, he's saying all the right things. He just wants to learn the system and keep pushing it forward. And I'm telling you, man, I'm like, hey, give this kid more opportunity. He has something. You saw it. He has a little something to him. Raider Ben, nice to see you, Jason. Man, nice to see you here, Ben, dude. I was watching your live. I loved your call. I loved your call when Max got him. You called that shot. It was like Babe Ruth calling a home run, dude. It was sweet. Hopefully you're doing well, brother. Go Raiders, dude. Appreciate you being here, Ben. I'm hanging in there, bro. And yeah, I got some things. There's always something in the background. We're always dealing with something. All of us have something on our plate that we're dealing with, but it's good to be able to come on here and talk to you all, man. Truly mean that. Jason Raiders, salute, bro. Salute, Ben. Go Raiders, 100%. Raider Ben's in the house. Let's see. Lafayette. Man, it's been a minute since I've seen that name. What's up, Lafayette? Raiders. You know it, baby. All day. Jason Raider. I would like to see a little bit more of AOC, but still think he's nothing but a backup. Yeah. And again, bro, like that's what we need to test. A lot of us feel that way. There's a possibility that's all he is, or in this offense, he could be something special. We just don't know. We should have traded up for Stroud, but of course not. 100%. And that is the other main reason, Jason, that I really want AO4 to get a shot, because this is about dotting our I's and crossing our T's at this point. You find out now. Best case scenario, dude, you put the guy in, you really see, you test him, you push him, you see, this guy has handled so much adversity. He has a great story. And that makes some great football players. It really does. When you have some of those challenges and you overcome so much, he's a down-to-earth dude. He's a little fiery. Looks like he's ready to go. He's antsing to probably get back out there and take another shot at it. You don't want to make the same mistake twice. I agree. We should have sold the house to go up and get one of those quarterbacks last year. I 100% believe in that. But I definitely want to test the waters. I want to test the waters because I want to make sure that, and again, we can only trust in that they're going to do the right thing, right? But anyway, I get what you're saying there. But a career backup. Let me finish your statement here. We already did. We traded up for Stroud, and I agreed with that 100%. Edgar V. The problem was also our defense. Our defense, if you're talking about the problem was also our defense. If you're talking about this last game, yeah, they missed some tackles. They missed some plays. They tend to do that. But as a whole, for 4 quarters of football in the National Football League, they shut it down. A little bit more on the run game than I'd like to see, but they don't give up that big play. It's pretty awesome to see. Lafayette, what's up, Ben? Cool. All right, because no one brought up Devante, so let's go ahead and talk about the Devante situation. Reportedly that Devante, after the game, didn't shower, just went in, grabbed his personal belongings, and just bounced. And I'm sure in Devante fashion, we will hear from him sooner rather than later. We'll start getting some more details of how Devante is feeling. He only got a few targets yesterday. I've heard, let me tell you some of the things that I've heard, okay? He needs to suck it up and deal with it because we won, and that's all that matters, which is 100% factual. I've heard wide receivers tend to be divas. Do I think Devante Adams is a diva? No, I do not. I do not. A diva would have made more of a scene. He left so he wouldn't make a scene. As a fan, okay, I really wanted to, I'm going to, I don't want to guarantee nothing, but my plan is to start doing instant after game reactions moving forward. There's a lot of people that are in this game, a lot of people that make great videos and great content, and they come on here and they have a lot to say. They're on live, and I just I like watching their reactions too. But if I'm going to be on here, I want to give my raw reaction because I want to test it. I want to put it on record. This is what I thought instantly, and this is what I think 24 hours later after I've kind of processed everything myself, because I want to see how much of it in me is fan opinionated based on my emotions and not what truly may have been the issue there, right? And I think that's all Devante's doing. Like, his initial emotion as a competitor, as someone who wants to be here and play, he probably feels that they can't get him the ball. Like, look, main reason he chose the Raiders, right? Even before him being a Raider fan, was the fact that DC was here. And he knew that DC would throw him the football. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think DC threw it to him the way he should have, as consistently as he should have, even, to be quite honest. I think it could have even been done better. But it was a rapport that they had together, right? He gave Jimmy G a shot. He said multiple times he's not on board with everything that's happening, but you're starting to see that Jimmy can't deliver the football the way Devante needs. They don't trust in it. They don't have that same kind of moxie, right? And Brian Hoyer did, but he was playing safe, so he wasn't trying to let him make a play on it. And at the end of the day, I'm going to bring up AO4 again, and G-Warb, if you're only coming in here now, my brother, trust me, I'm not saying he's the answer, but this kid he's known to make those kind of calls. He will throw it to Devante. He did it against the Chargers, and Devante made the play. That's the kind of style of football Devante plays. So do I think that McDaniels should talk to the quarterbacks and they should take more in consideration on how to play with Devante Adams? Yeah, he's your star player, bro. Devante is so good. Yep, you're going to use him as a decoy. You got to be smart about it. And I think Devante will respect that, but you got to give Devante some opportunity too. It's just the way it works. And that'll help keep teams more honest as well. Lafayette, Drake May, or even Spencer Rattler, we could draft. And again, and I want to make this point very clear. Like, I went and watched Drake May's tape, and I watched Caleb Williams' tape, and I will go check out this kid Spencer as well. But I promise you, we've seen it time and time again. Just because you're just lights out, Heisman Trophy winner, you dot all the I's and the T's in college, it doesn't always translate right away in the National Football League. Now, I will say, Caleb Williams and Drake May both look like the real deal. And as it pertains to Josh McDaniels, they're both amazing pocket quarterbacks to boot. So they give you the whole package. They'll give you what you're looking for, McDaniels, and someone who will stay in the pocket, but then they have that little extra something outside. And that's something to pay attention to. Now, it doesn't mean that we can't guarantee that either. We can't. I don't think they had the Peyton Manning status or the John Elway status back in the day. So I'm not saying don't take a chance, but we just got to keep it real. That's why if you already have something that you need to take a look at it. Ray Gonzalez, the defense is coming up the offense now. Hold on. Yeah, it's coming up the offense now. Yeah, so again, the defense is continuing to grow. Even in smaller increments now than we saw a few weeks ago. They made some good leaps and bounds. But with every victory and every opportunity to correct, this defense is just... And remember, Bennett wasn't playing the whole game. Hobbs wasn't in there, right? Merrick is playing with a bum hand. Like, there's some things that are happening that only can get better moving forward. And in things that we could fix, it's going to be easier to fix our defense down the road because so many people are stepping up and they're affordable. McDaniels is right about execution, but they need to kickstart the offense and get it done. I've been saying it for weeks, Ray. Right? It's all of the above. We need to throw the ball downfield. We need to block better, both passing and running. The quarterback needs to play better. Execution needs to be played better. As far as play calling, I think the execution and some of these issues are affecting the way McDaniels calls a game. It's not me making excuses, man. It's just the reality, dude. This guy's in the National Football League. He's got the respect of many people around the league. It's been reported by Hondo, and I do trust that Hondo's telling the truth on that. I believe that is factual. It doesn't mean it's going to be the same when he had Brady. It's all going to be different, but he knows how to call a game. He knows how to game plan. He knows how to draw plays. It's execution. But with that said, Ray, it's up to him to fix that execution too. If you have to bench somebody and put somebody else in, you'd be surprised how that could really, that competition, that getting benched attitude, it changes the narrative sometimes. And I personally see, after what I saw from Van Rotten last week, I'm finally on the Van Rotten bandwagon. I'd like to see something different there. Edgar, no, I was talking about last season. Oh yeah, 100%, bro. Okay, yeah, I get you. And again, what happened last season, it would have been a lot of the same this season, right? And I think that we would score more points with Carr. I think we'd be more balanced because Josh would be more involved. But there was other issues there, right? And I think that this is why I would like to see the young kid with a live arm that we've seen already throw it down the field. Now, Hoyer's shown again. I don't want to act like I'm dissing Hoyer because I think Hoyer did exactly what he was brought here to do. Be a backup quarterback, close the game out if he has to. We don't necessarily know if Hoyer could win a game. Except if you go back in his history, it's not that good. Not that good. He said it himself. He came in for 2 quarters and he played it safe. We don't need to go playing a team like the Bears safe. That's how good teams lose to bad teams. Edgar, the season is, our defense is on fire. And here's the cool thing about it. You're saying that the defense is on fire. Yeah, it's playing really good football. And from what we're used to, yeah, that's on fire, bro. But guess what? There's more that they can do. And I think we're going to see that as the season goes on. There's still a lot of football to play. And I think there's going to be some key players. And if we win this Sunday, I think you see them maybe start looking into getting that other pass rusher. So keep an eye on that. If there's something out there they can try to do, I think that's when we'll see it. Belinda Brown, welcome. We need wins against good teams. And if we're going to be contenders, we do, right? If we're working on our football team as it stands right now and just we need to see and get these young guys up and coming and get the offense moving, then we need to beat teams like the Bears. We need to beat teams like the Patriots and the Packers, which we're showing to do right now, which is great. But Belinda, you're 100% correct. Like, you got to beat teams like Detroit, the Chiefs, the Dolphins, or be at least extremely competitive when we start playing these teams, because that is what's going to be the real measuring stick on where we stand up in the league, right? We haven't beat anybody yet to say this team is legit, which is only buying us time right now because there's obviously a lot that we need to work on, right? Lafayette, AOC can throw the fade. Could throw the fade also. He's shown to be very accurate. And I remember in the Chargers game, if I am going to put the kid down, I'm going to say there were some throws that were off target. Whether it was nerves, there was rumors whether or not he took all the snaps during the week. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and make any excuses. I just know in the preseason, his balls were more on target, right? Like, he was throwing with more anticipation. He was hitting people in strides in the preseason. I didn't see a whole lot of that against the Chargers, but I know that he's capable of doing it. With the second start against a team that's not going to give as much pass rush, not as competitive all around like the Chargers are, I think this might be an opportunity for the kid to go out there and loosen up and really gain some confidence in playing the system and playing in the National Football League. And like you said, he could throw the fade. He throws a lot of accurate footballs. Lafayette. Let's see. Phoenix in the best, but he will do. Phoenix. I don't know if it's misspelled or I'm not catching on. My bad. Let's see. Prince Magura, welcome. It's good to see the utilization of the tight ends. Just the way that they spread it around early. They designed it to get everybody involved. And I think, if I'm going to be honest, I think one of the ideas there is they were trying to loosen up the defense by showing all of our weapons. And I think that was McDaniel's way. And I know he says that, we need to take more shots down the field. We wait for opportunities and all this stuff that he was saying the last few days. And I'm just like, no, because Brian Hoyer came right in and did it right off the cut. First, 3rd and 4, he throws it 48 yards on a dime right to Tucker. Now, either Jimmy can do that or Jimmy can't. And I promise you, and I was shocked. This is the one thing also that I was shocked to see. Hoyer seemed to have more zip on his football than Jimmy did. His ball just looked cleaner, which I'm being honest. It totally shocked me. I thought it would be more Jimmy-esque. Jimmy's ball is being thrown without velocity. A lot of like rainbow type throws. It's just into the dirt. And I don't know what's causing that. I'm not a quarterback guru. I'm not the quarterback whisperer. I'm not going to be able to sit here and tell you why that is. And my only question would be, that's why I'm not going to be mad at McDaniels if he decides to run with Hoyer. But all Hoyer showed us that he can close out a game. Okay. I don't think he was necessarily any better than Jimmy. He's shown something that we haven't fully seen from Jimmy, and I think it looked better than when Jimmy did throw the ball deep. But if it's the deep ball we need and it's the deep ball we're looking for, I think AO4 has a better deep ball. D the Sun. Tay Adams is a Hall of Famer. Fact. He should be mad 100%. He's not young anymore. No. And he even said himself, that was why he didn't stay in Green Bay, because he couldn't guarantee that Aaron Rodgers was going to be his quarterback. And it wasn't a knock on Love. He had an opportunity to go play with somebody he felt like he could play with. Now that person's gone. And now he's on a team where it's very sporadic. Nothing's been consistent offensively at all. And he's been involved in the passing game, right? 80 yards, 127 yards, 70 yards. Those are pretty solid numbers. And I know they need to be better, but I think he understands the process. But I think he's like, damn, I don't think Jimmy G or Hoyer is any better than Love. I could have stayed in Green Bay. Not saying that he's thinking that fully. I'm just thinking that he needs somebody that's going to bring a spark to the passing game and get the ball, push it downfield, and open it up for Jacobs. And I want to see it. Now, it doesn't matter who starts Sunday. That needs to be part of the game plan, right? We all have to agree on that. I don't care if it's Hoyer. I don't care if it's AO4. They need to get Tucker running some more post routes. They need to push the ball a little deeper and start opening things up and getting this running game going, because we didn't even talk about Jacobs. The last 2 weeks, his numbers have gone up. It's still not looking like the Jacobs we need, But yesterday he ran for 77 yards. And, that's not the big 100 banger we're looking for, but I'll tell you what, it's getting there. So if we could just loosen that defense up a little bit, it'll allow Jacobs to have those kind of games we need him to have. And when they load the box, we hit him deep. Lafayette. We could have had Hooker too. There's a lot we could have had. There's a lot that we passed on. There's so many quarterbacks that we just let slip out of our fingers. Again, I know that we have a problem drafting, especially in the first round, but I just feel like there's more to the quarterback situation than we understand ourselves even. Like we want the big name. We want the big college quarterback with all the numbers. But look how many of them come out every single year. There's 1 to 2 quarterbacks that are highlighted because it is such a popular, demanding position. But year in and year out, all those guys never turn out to be the next great thing. It usually never happens. Mahomes wasn't top-notch target. Not at all. Either was Justin Herbert. Not at all. Either was Russell Wilson. Not at all. Like, these weren't the main targeted guys. When you look across the league and you start handpicking those that were, they're few and far between. I'll even say this. I think one of the greats, and I don't want to say great in the sense that he's earned that title yet, but Josh Burrows from Cincinnati. I remember when he was drafted, and we knew he was going to the Bengals. We knew he was going to come and do his thing. And look, the guy has lived up to the hype. Now he's fallen short. He's fallen short, but he's came in and he showed why they drafted him. But even then, look how hard it is to win. It's hard to win. So going out and getting these guys don't guarantee us anything, but we need to do it. It seems like the only time we did do it, it blew up in our face too. But I think it's time again to make that move. Yep, agree. Hoyer came in and threw a, hold on, up, and threw stop. What does this say? Stop. Oh, stop effing lying pass that we have been looking for. 100%, right? Right, John? Like I keep hearing, and I'm going to quote Hondo again. And Hondo, by any chance you watch my podcast, more power to you, brother. I respect you. All right. Doesn't mean I have to agree. We don't have to always agree. That's my whole point. Here's the thing though, right? He said he's seen Jimmy throw the deep ball. He knows he can throw the deep ball. Look, Hondo, there's a difference between I never said that Jimmy couldn't throw the deep ball. I just say he can't throw the deep ball well. Okay. Now come and tell me that Jimmy can throw the deep ball accurate and with velocity, not just throwing it up for a jump ball every single time. I mean, Hoyer's ball was not even where I think it should have been, right? It was still a good pass. It was a big play, but I watch quarterbacks week in and week out throw that same pass and hit a guy like Tucker in stride, and that's a touchdown. I'm just saying, like, that's what we need. That's what we're looking for. And I'm not even knocking the pass that Hoyer threw because it's exactly what we needed, exactly the right time. We need to do that more consistently to loosen up this defense, the defenses we're playing, to help our running game. But to me, it's more than that, right? So I don't want to hear no more that Jimmy can do something that he's not showing us. If he can do it, and that's the answer, then he needs to do it, or we need to move on. I'm tired because that just sounds like more and more excuses, right? Lafayette. Rattler plays style is a lot like Mahomes. He is gonna be a star. And again, Lafayette, I've come to be more fans of those guys. Okay, I'm more fans of the quarterback that's looked over, that comes in with a little bit of edge, little chip on their shoulder. Any football player, let alone quarterback, I think gives you a better chance in the National Football League, because once you get paid, once you get the recognition, you're looking for people who really, truly wanted to redefine the game. A lot of people have skill. A lot of people are athletic. A lot of people are talented. Very few have the personality of a Max Crosby or a Devante Adams, who work hard and want to be the best. They want to be the best so bad and make a difference in this National Football League that they'll walk out without talking to anybody or taking a shower. Just saying. That doesn't make him a diva. It just means that he's not agreeing with the aggressiveness of this offense. It's not playing to his strength. They played more to his strength last year. You need to play into your superstar strengths too. So whoever starts, Hoyer, O'Connell, we need to take more shots down the field, but not go overboard with it. I agree with you, Jason. AOC should start at some point, but Hoyer deserves at least one start to see what he can do. But again, I mean, in Ray, like I said, I'm not going to be mad about it, but we need to see something, and we don't see it. Can McDaniels pull the trigger sooner rather than later? And at that point, I think that decision needs to be made on the practice field, right? Because we're not messing around anymore. We have an opportunity to make a little run. If there's any possibility that this team could develop into something and squeeze into the playoffs and maybe make a run, which I extremely highly doubt, by the way, it would just be nice to see a team turn around and have a shot just to play competitive so we don't have to sit here and talk about losses week in and week out. But does Hoyer deserve a shot? Because when we watched him in preseason, it looked pretty bad, dude. I'm not going to lie. It looked pretty bad that half that he played in the preseason. And all of us were pretty much like, oh, wow, AO4 should have been the backup quarterback. Now, when they did not make AO4 the backup quarterback, I was ecstatic. I'm going to be honest. I felt like, do the right thing. Don't put this kid under pressure to the point where you rush him and he causes more mistakes. And maybe we did with the Chargers. Maybe that should have been a game that Hoyer played, right, Ray? Like maybe that should have been Hoyer's game. And then we would be having a different conversation today, because then we would know for sure what it would look like if Hoyer had to start and do 4 quarters and how he could hold up into this game. He's older than Jimmy is. Like at some point you have to just kind of just be like, all right, we got these old guys for a reason, but here it is again. And you're not saying, here, kid, here's the keys. It's yours for the rest of the season. You're just saying, hey, here's an opportunity for some more experience. Go win us a football game against the Chicago Bear team who, like the Packers and like the Patriots, were sitting at a great opportunity to win this football game. Now, as much as we all love McDaniels and his decision-making and his game management skills, because we just think he's the greatest at it, right? Sarcasm. Do we think that he'll make that right call? Because if he really thinks that Hoyer's the man, that Hoyer can do what he did, but even better in 4 quarters moving forward, then I say start Hoyer, because we're not playing around to lose this game. We need to win this game. And but Hoyer's a career backup. I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to say I wouldn't be without nerves if they start Hoyer. Just saying. But same with the rookie, right? All right, Prince. Adam is a role player. He is drawing double coverage, which helps other receivers get in their routes. I believe the passing game or the passing scheme will be modified if Hoyer ... I think maybe he finished it up over here. If Hoyer is to be the quarterback, let's see, quarterback going forward. Let's see, the 83 Plunkett year, they changed the scheme to fit Plunkett. Yeah, it's true. Okay, but here's the thing: Plunkett's lack of mobility, but Jimmy has lack of mobility too. Like most quarterbacks have been in the Josh McDaniels system have not been the most mobile quarterbacks. And, this is not the 83 Raiders. And then McDaniels is not Tom Flores. And again, like I don't bank on the fact that Hoyer is going to come in and be Jim Plunkett-esque. But I will say that, he's shown the ability to do what we've been looking for. We haven't seen from Jimmy G, which is a 48-yard strike down the middle of the field. That's what's intriguing. And no matter what is decided, something's got to change schematically. So that I agree. In regardless to mobility, pass protection, run blocking, whatever, the scheme has to change. Now, again, what is? I'll ask whoever wants to answer this in the comment section. Please do. What is changing the scheme to throwing more passes downfield? How many times do you want to see that done in a football game? How many times do you guys think it's going to take to really loosen up that defense to get Josh really going? I mean, that's just a question. For me personally, it's something you can't force. And I think that's what that's what McDaniels was alluding to. There's a lot of factors why we haven't been able to do that. And one of them is coverage, right? Especially as it pertains to Devante. He saw the safety dip to Devante. He took a shot. That's 9 out of 10 times. So Devante being a decoy, 100%. But I lost it. If you guys watch the Pat Mac, I don't watch Pat usually, but I just happen to watch Pat because I like to hear how crazy Aaron Rodgers talks sometimes. And Aaron Rodgers was talking about Devante, and he said, look, even when the guy's covered, you'd be surprised. That guy's always open. He makes remarkable plays. I know I have to give him a shot every once in a while. Now, you don't force feed your superstar like that, but in certain game situations, you have to. Devante reminds me of one of those guys that he's either gonna catch the ball or do everything in his damn power so it doesn't get picked off. Doesn't mean it won't get picked off. He's just gonna fight the whole way through, and that's why quarterbacks, aka DC, Aaron Rodgers, have always liked it. Now, again, I'm gonna bring up a play that happened late in that Chargers game that set us up to tie the game. It was a sideline pass down the field to a double cover Devante Adams, who went up and made a hell of a play on the sideline. It's a perfect example. So if you could sit Devante down right now in front of a live camera and you gave him some truth serum, or he had to tell the truth, whatever, I think he would say he likes the way that AO4 plays the game, plays it. Like the way that he's willing to take a shot, throw the ball up, give him a chance, than the other two have. And Jimmy's even been reportedly or quoted on saying, when you think he can't get there, he gets there. Like Devante just makes plays. Well, then dang. And I've seen Jimmy go to him heavy. I've seen Jimmy go to him heavy as well. So again, I would say, what's the holdup? I don't know what's going on with this offense. I don't know if it's McDaniels, the quarterback. Like, we really are not going to have that answer. All we know is that something's got to change. That's why I said no matter who plays Sunday, that scheme has to change, period. Ray Gonzalez, Adam Schefter did remark about AOC starting the next game. Now, I think it makes perfect sense. I believe that's why they bought Brian Hoyer here. And I'm going to stay adamant to that until the report shuts me down otherwise, right? Brian Hoyer did his job yesterday, did an amazing job at it. He played well enough not to lose the game. That's what you want your backup to do. And I think the approach with AO4 this season was, Jimmy's our guy. We feel like he gives us the best chance to win. If he goes down, Hoyer gives us the best chance to close out a game. And AO4 is a guy that we want to develop. And if we're going to start the kid, we want a game plan surrounded around the kid. And that's what we might see, Ray. So, we'll see how that all plays out, but that makes sense to me. Prince, Jacobs reminds me of Marcus. Now, Marcus, now that he has been, let me blow this up. I'm struggling. My eyes are getting tired. Hold on. Has learned how to catch coming out of the backfield. No, he's a little different than Marcus. Like, he does remind me of like the grit, the grind. Marcus was a little bit more elusive. The two different styles. Like Jacobs is more of a banger than Marcus was, but he's the best thing I've seen probably since Marcus as an all-around game, for sure. D the Sum, thumbs up. Thank you for reminding me. Hey, if you guys have not yet hit that, I haven't even gone to look at it. If you guys have not hit that like button yet tonight, can you guys do me a favor? Hit that like button. Let me go check my numbers. I got 13 of you in here and I got 14 likes. So we must be on to something. But if you're in here and you have not yet hit the like button, do me a solid and hit that like button. If you're new here, think about hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be updated every time I go live. Miguel Majardo, what's up, brother? Let's see. Brian Hoyer is still garbage time. Garbage time to roll with AO. Time to roll with AO4. And again, historically, career-wise, if you look at his career as a whole, I'm not going to argue with Miguel. He's a career backup. But again, Miguel, I mean, let's give Brian some love because he came in and did his job, right? And because we look at him as garbage time and we know that he's not going to be the type of quarterback we're going to start and watch him come in and win the football game, you want him to do whatever he takes to hold on to the game. And he did just that. So with that said, that's why and that's kind of where I stand, right? He's a career backup. I think he's a great backup, depending on the situation. Raider John. Now we know what we got in Hoyer. The man is solid in a relief role. Fact. Off the bench, 100%. Not really as effective as a starter, in my opinion. With that said, he did exceed my expectations tremendously. I think he caught all of us off guard, especially with that 48-yard bomb, which was well thrown, had enough zip, and I think it looked so fast because it was much faster and much stronger than I've seen Jimmy throw his football. So I think that made me kind of scratch my head. I was like, yeah, this might work. But at the end of the day, again, speaking long term, I'm with you, John. I don't think his career will show you that you want him out there for 4 quarters. I don't think he didn't do a lot even in the 2 quarters he played. He held it down. He did his job. He did what he was called to do, which was save the game. Don't lose it. And he said that himself. These are some of his words, right? He played not to lose. And sometimes that could backfire on you, but he did his job solid. Did what he did. He did his role. F. Salgado 88. What's up, brother? Welcome. Start AOC. I agree. Miguel Majardo. Man, I should be able to say that name. Majardo. My gosh. Mijorado. I probably still said it wrong. I'm struggling. All right. What did he do? What did he do, dude? Oh, dude couldn't convert. Hold on. The dude couldn't convert into points. So what did he do? He drove us down and got field goals. He extended the lead and kept it alive long enough for the defense to close it out. That's what he was asked to do. Now, again, none of us are sitting here saying that Brian Hoyer came in and took the roof off and came and drove the team down and won this football game. In fact, he did everything close to probably even giving the game up because, like you said, drove the team down into the red zone twice. We couldn't get the ball across the end zone. Those should have been touchdowns, and we wouldn't be even having this conversation at this point. Hey, if he probably gets those touchdowns, we're probably screaming that we should start a Hoyer. And I'm definitely not going to do that. All I'm saying is that Brian Hoyer, and this is his quotes because he was asked it straight up. He said, because it was specifically a question about the defense. He said, the defense is playing in a way where I was able to do my job. I wanted to make sure that I played and put the ball where it wouldn't hurt us. Meaning, when he missed Devante, he was basically admitting that he threw it a little bit harder than he maybe would have, just to make sure that if anybody had a chance, it was going to be Devante. He didn't throw it in a position where it was a jump ball. And a lot of the times that's what you have to do in those sideline passes in the end zone like that. So again, what did he do? He did his backup job. He played not to lose. He hit that deep ball. He gave us the right opportunities. It would have been nice to get touchdowns. Trust me, no one's saying Hoyer was God at all. Far from it. Miguel, close enough. Let's see. Raider at Miguel didn't turn the ball over. Fact, John. Like that's the one thing that I'm leaving out in that whole scenario, right? But I kind of answered it when I said that he was throwing the ball purposely in positions to where our guys only had, opportunities for it. He kept it safe. He kept it simple. He played really soft, and that's not going to win you a game. So again, Is that we're going to get out of him for 4 quarters if he starts this week? That's what I don't want. And that would be my other side to that coin, right? Is, yeah, okay, he showed that he could throw the ball a little harder than Jimmy, but we haven't seen it for 4 quarters when he's going to have to play a little bit more aggressive than that. Like, he's going to have to give his team opportunities. Nah, don't start Hoyer. It's AO4 time. Let's go. 100%. You know, that's my guy. If you go back and listen to that, I mean, I'm not saying he's my guy. Like, I think he's the next great thing, but trust me, anytime that I can pound the table for AO4 to get a starting spot, I'm going to do it, bro. Facts. Time. Let's go get, it's time to start AO4. Let's go get, brain burbs. Brain burbs. Miguel, Hoyer played better than Jimmy. He threw a better deep ball than Jimmy. I think he played, I would say, more equally to Jimmy, which is another reason why I'm rooting for the kid. Because even though he had, I'm going back, and whether this is fair or not, I'm going back to the preseason start that he had. I didn't see Hoyer progressively get better in that game either. I think what you know about Hoyer, what you've seen from Hoyer, is what you're going to get from Hoyer. It's not going to blow you away. His arm talent is not the level that it needs to be at to move the needle. And I think that's been my argument with Jimmy. I haven't seen the arm talent this year at all, even in the short stuff. A lot of balls in the dirt where he's throwing it down to the ground. Some of the plays that have been made have been more run after the catch type plays, nothing spectacular. He's thrown a couple of nice ones, and like even the one where he found Jacoby in the back of the end zone, but I mean, that was playing catch, right? Like, I haven't seen true arm talent from any of these guys, to be honest with you. But I've seen the most potential in AO4. Not saying AO4 is the next coming of God, but at least we know what we have after the season. And I'm talking about Brian Burns. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I know who you're talking about. From the Panthers. No, yeah, get it. You know, if we could pull that trigger, we got to win. We got to win Chicago. If we win Chicago, I think that might be something we look into. And I think that's what they're waiting for. Are we going to really be put in a position where we could better this defense? Because we're still going to be leaning on this defense for a while. But as far as AO4 not being the next coming to God, but that's exactly my point, my brother Miguel. That's my whole point of my conversation is I'm not saying that this guy is going to be our starter next year. I'm not saying that he's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. I'm not saying he's going to take us to the playoffs and to the Super Bowl in the future. All I'm saying is, damn, when you look at the quarterback roster right now, he has the most live arm. He has the most potential to make more plays with his arm all across the field. He's shown more accuracy to me, more zip on the football, not afraid to throw and accurately put a ball in a position where players like Devante and Jacoby can go up and make a play. And that is exactly where this offense is at right now. Totally. And this is where I do agree with Hondo that we need to stretch the field and keep the defense honest. And that's part of the problem. I'm not saying that, but I just felt like I don't want the narrative to be that that's the only problem is we're not throwing the ball down the field enough, because I don't think that's 100% factual either. You know, I think there's a combination of things that need to happen. Now, will that take enough pressure off the offensive line that we can get more push, more pull, more something out of it? Then yeah, all of this has a play in the system, bro. All of this schematically has to be done and executed properly. It's the same thing I say. Like, I had somebody try to tell me, why is everything got to be McDaniel's fault? It's because he's the head coach. It don't matter if he made a bad play call or he schemed it up wrong to begin with during the week and we weren't fully prepared. We already know that he's having a hard time managing the game and being the head offensive coordinator and calling the shots. He's struggling at that. extremely bad, right? But at the same time, he wants to say we need to do a better job in execution. Well, yes, you have to hold your players accountable, Josh. That's the whole point. At the end of the day, bench them. Bench them. And you might say, well, when I was watching it in practice, this guy was the better fit. And I believe that you earn your position to start in practice. I'm a big believer in that. But if it come game time, the lights are on, game's on the line, and you're not performing, I'm going to do anything I can to find the answer. And if it's replacing a player, I'm willing to do it because one or two things are going to happen. It's going to humble the player that wasn't doing right, and maybe when you have to put him back in, he starts doing better. Or the simple fact that you give that other player the opportunity to have a shot, you'd be surprised, man. It's a whole nother gear. I know a lot of us that probably watch this sport have either played this sport or other sports like this sport as far as competitive nature goes, being a competitor. We know what it's like. I could tell you so many times. It reminds me of NBA jams. He's off fuego, right? He's on fire. Like there's been times in pickup basketball when I used to play a lot of pickup basketball out of high school where there was just days, man, whether it was a certain person I knew that was on the other team that I liked or didn't like, was a real competitive with them. There would be times where my game just was on, dude, and I felt untouchable and I could just go out there and you couldn't stop me. And then there was days I struggled. I mean, every competitor goes through that, right? But there'd be certain times when someone talked a little smack to me or someone challenged me or said you suck or whatever, that a whole nother gear would happen and something would shift. And all of a sudden I could do stuff I didn't think I could do. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. You ever been in a position competitively where somebody says something to you bad or challenges you and makes you feel inferior to them or whatever it may be. And then your adrenaline kicks up, your competitive nature, all of a sudden you're in the zone, right? You're in the zone. You hear it a lot from basketball players. They'll tell you a lot that, yeah, you just know, when you're feeling, when you're on. The hoop gets bigger and there's like, you cannot miss. You're just dropping dimes left and right. We've seen it happen in the NBA so many times throughout so many different players. Pick one: Kobe, Jordan, Magic, Stephon Curry. All these guys, they get into the zone, and when they're on, and it's fun to watch people go into that zone. And I'm not saying that there's anybody on our sideline from an offensive line perspective that's going to come in and just be in that zone and start pushing defenders all the way around and stuff. But what I'm saying is you'll find a spark anywhere. Give someone the opportunity. Give someone the opportunity. That's all I'm saying. Like, make the changes necessary. I keep hearing they feel that Jimmy gives us the best chance to win. And Jimmy has played to win the game. He's played us essentially into 3 victories. He has. And he's also been a big part of playing us in our 3 losses. He still has 8 picks. We've still yet to see him throw the ball deep with velocity and accuracy on a consistent basis. Haven't seen it. So whether or not coaches around the league, people in the building, people that get to watch practices and watch them kind of perform say that Jimmy can throw that deep ball, then how come we ain't seen it? And if that's the reason why they're loading the box, then why hasn't it changed? Why did Hoyer, with his first opportunity on a 3rd down, throw a 48-yard bomb to our rookie? Why was that play even called? And I'm sure that was the second read, right? I promise you it was probably the second or third read, right? That play was all designed whether or not the safety bid on Devante, and he did. And when he rolled to Devante's side, it opened it up for Tucker down the middle. That's why that play happened. Are you saying that they're not double teaming Devante when they call that play for Jimmy? If not, you throw it to Devante. Again, if I had all the answers, I think I would be coaching in the NFL. I think I'd be coaching, period. How many legally blind coaches are there, even in high school? Probably not a lot. I just love talking football. Sit down, crack one, let's talk football. All right, I think we've done our duty. We've talked our game. We've talked our ish, as it said. I'm not even monetized. I haven't even filled out any paperwork. I'm thinking about doing it, though. I'm thinking about taking that plunge, but all for the right reasons. I think I have the other things lined up where I want it to be to make that move. Ray, Fields is out at quarterback for the Bears. Must win. Blood. Smell the blood. Attack. I agree, Ray. Win at all costs. I'd like to thank everybody for being here and participating in the show tonight. You guys make this way more easier, way more fun. I love getting everybody's takes and hearing everybody's side and having the conversation, because it's definitely not all about me and my voice. I promise you. Promise you. And we have all week to continue the conversation. I want to see what Devante says. I want to see what happens with AO4. Brian Hoyer. Let's see if we can get Josh Jacobs going. Let's get this defense fired up. But meanwhile, big shout out to Ray Gonzalez for being here tonight. Miguel, you're on fire tonight, bro. Thank you for bringing the conversation. Raider John, brother, you already know. I appreciate you keeping the fire going, dude. Arnett, F. Salgado, 88, thank you for being here. Salute to you. Raider Ben, my boy, you already know Raider Ben. Thank you for being here and all that you do. D the Sum, long-time subscriber. Appreciate you. Prince, bringing the fire tonight, keeping the conversation going. I appreciate you, Prince. Let's see. Lafayette, you already know Lafayette. Thank you so much for being here and being part of the conversation. We appreciate you. That Raiders fan, my dog, thank you for being here. I'm glad you had a great experience. I'm glad you were able to meet Eric Allen. I think that is so awesome. Jason Smith to be exact. Shout out to you, brother. All right. And then we also had, I went too big on that one. Belinda, thank you for participating tonight and keeping the conversation going. I appreciate you. Thank you. Edgar, you already know. I know you've been around for a while. I appreciate you, Edgar. Thank you. What else we got here? All right, shout out Jason, Raider Ben, Lafayette. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Of course, Raiders Combo. I can't miss my boy Raiders Combo being in the house tonight. I appreciate you. Let's see who else. We also had Richard Lyon was in the house. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see who else we got here. We had Edgar. I think I covered everybody. I think I got everybody. I appreciate you guys for being here, keeping the conversation going. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subs. I appreciate you guys. I look forward to doing more shows with you. Yes, sir, to Lafayette. Appreciate you. All right, guys. Until next time, stay Raider strong. Night out.